to. And you're still questioning your mind the idea that am I thinking this or am I feeling this? You know, you've been back and forth on that a bit, but I really feel they're working with you more and you're having more random stuff occur that at times surprises you.
Yeah. Well, yes, it always surprises me.
Well, I feel it's going to surprise you more because I feel the accuracy of it's going to continue and you're going to expand on that. And I feel taking the time in a quiet, meditative manner certainly centers you better and you'll be more at peace with getting your information. And there'll be gradually more clarity because what's going to happen is the more often it occurs, the more direct it's going to be with you and you'll recognize it. And pretty soon it really becomes easy to recognize, is it spirit or is it my thought? And once that lines up that way, you'll be very at peace with that. That'll work well.
Okay, so just go with the flow. Just keep practicing and go with the flow and allow things
Yes.
to unfold.
And remember, your mind wants to question everything because there's a part of all of us that's so analytical. And yet there's the part of you that it really has clarity at times where sometimes it surprises you.
Okay.
Any other question on that?
No, I think that's it for now. That's good. Thank you.
Well, I think you're doing very well. I do feel an energy there that you're having some things that I would say it this way. There's a gut feeling that when you have some things happen and you know it's dead on, I want to blueprint that feeling and that thought because it'll come through more and more. And once you blueprint it in your heart and mind, what you're really feeling, and you recognize the reality of it, it worked, I feel it'll happen more and more and more.
Okay.
And when you're not feeling centered, you can go back to that reality of feeling and reconnect to it, and it helps you be centered.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, that's good.
Good,
Thank
good.
you.
You're welcome. Anyone else has a question? Yes.
Oh, wait, Eleanor.
Hi, Eleanor.
Hi.
How are
Can
you?
Mute yours, Richard. I want to ask the same question he asked. I've been working on my stuff for the last couple well, I haven't been here since November. So since the last call I was on. And so I was just wondering what kind of feedback Spirit has for me and any advice or insights.
Well, one of the first things there, you started working on it. It worked well. You were developing more of what you feel. But then you really got a little disgusted with things and felt like you weren't hitting it. True?
You know what I did? I missed part of what you said because we're doing this muting, unmuting thing, and I missed the beginning of what you said.
Okay. I'll explain it again. When you started to open yourself up to this and allow it to occur, and you were practicing and focusing on it, I feel you reached a point where you got frustrated, where you felt like you weren't doing all of what you felt should happen, and you pulled back a little bit, and now you've come back at it again where you're opening up more.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
That's correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel now that you're opening up more, you're starting to recognize what you're feeling and you're following through on the feeling better. And you get a little frustrated with how slow it is at times. You like doing things fast. You like to get them all in order and have them all right and all done. And I feel like that's been a little frustrating for you to feel like you don't feel at times that you're totally plugged in.
Yes, well, I'm probably not totally plugged in. I could be doing more meditation. I could
Sure.
be doing.
But that's what I see you doing is tapping in better, and the practice of it and a continuation of it makes a huge difference.
Yes.
And you also had an experience where you thought someone called your name.
I don't remember that.
Because I see Spirit doing some things to get your attention, and I feel they're going to call your name. And I could see you looking around thinking, did I hear that with my ears or am I hearing that in my mind? But I see Spirit doing that to gain your attention. I want you to realize they are there and they are helping. So don't be surprised if that occurs, and it'll shock you a little bit that it's like, wait a minute, I really thought I heard that.
Cool.
And that'll be a neat experience for you to have that happen.
Yep, looking forward to that.
And you also had an experience of your dreams have been more vivid recently,
Yes.
because I see more vivid dreaming with you, and the clarity of the dream and memory of the dream actually has been better.
Yes. And getting some messages. Yeah.
Yes. And that'll continue and that'll grow more. I just see it as a matter of timing to bring it to a balance where you start recognizing it more regular all the time.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Any other question?
No, that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
We have one on the phone, but Flo here.
Hi, Flo. Hello, Flo. Flo. Hello, Flo.
May not have her audio on.
You have your audio on? Flo.
She may not hear you. We'll come back to her.
All right.
Jessica has a question. Go ahead, Jessica.
Jessica?
Hi. Yeah, my question. So, there's two areas of my life that I feel just aren't gelling or coming together.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of at a loss as to what to do. Wondering if you have any.
Well, why don't you ask
Sense?
about each one and we'll go from there.
The first one is business.
Mm-hmm.
Is it floundering? It's just not bringing finances with business are just feeling all over the place. And I feel that sometimes no matter what I do, it just doesn't get better.
In one way, dear, would you recognize you have what I would say you're your own manager of the business?
Yes.
Because I kept seeing this is not working for someone else. It's like you're working for yourself in a sense.
Yes, exactly. That's what I do. I don't want to work for anyone else. So I need to make this work.
Well, let's put it this way. I feel you're going to make it work, but I feel in a way, even though you're independent and you're doing it for yourself, I see you in essence working for other people. And I feel an energy here of you trying to back it down a bit on the energy because you want to be so independent that now it's really a challenge.
Okay.
And to not look at it as something that I have to be so completely independent, because when you start focusing on it as being so completely independent, the challenge comes in then to say, okay, you're completely independent, and what are we going to do now?
Right.
And I want to say, in a meditative manner, in a calm manner, put forth the thought and energy. May the flow of energy be flowing, and what should I be doing to bring that flow together? Now, I'm not talking in a conscious mind. I'm talking asking God and Spirit to guide you.
Yeah.
And as you do that, go with the flow of what you're feeling guided to do instead of it being the analytical. Because you have a side of you that can be very analytical and very gung-ho about accomplishing. And when you're really in it, you're in it. You just go for it. But I feel the energy with you emotionally. I feel there's times you've been trying too hard in a conscious basis and not letting yourself be guided in an intuitive way. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the kind of business you have right now, which you understand, not everyone would be interested in the business that you provide.
Yes, exactly.
And I feel an energy here of you expanding what you're doing that would include and encompass some areas that would draw more people to you. And I feel as you do that, it will really expand. Because right now, let's say it this way, for lack of better explanation, there's a narrow pathway you're on in a sense of presenting. And I feel a need to widen the pathway so it's really more noticeable and people are drawn to it easier and better.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Any suggestions how to do that?
Well, I feel on the internet you're going to expand your, in a sense, advertisement. But on another level, I'm seeing you also putting something together in a flyer form that you could actually hand somebody and they could read it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel organizing that'll work better. What kind of business is this?
Counseling, energy work, intuitive work.
I feel very good about it, but I feel that it's been hard for you because you're not in what I would term a center or a place where the flow of people are moving through it. Now, what I mean by that is not just a flow of people coming directly to you, but a flow of people around you, whether they come directly to you or not, but they notice you, they're aware of you, they're aware of what you do. And I feel like there's a part of you that's almost hidden in a way, and not everybody recognizes your presence and your ability.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
feel the need to be connected in a more open air manner where people recognize your skill and ability, but they recognize you're doing it in a professional manner. And I feel it'll work better because sometimes I feel you have a limited reach where to reach people in an open manner.
Okay.
That makes sense?
That makes sense.
And what's the other question?
Relationship stuff.
I feel like you just backed away from someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause I just saw your energy pull back and regroup, and I feel like you've been regrouping on what you really want now. And I feel not only wanting it on a conscious basis, but wanting it to be a harmonious energy.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's certainly becoming more open. You've had some people in your life that, I'll put it this way, they may have presented a spirituality, but in reality, they were not living in a spiritual manner.
Nope.
True?
Yes, very true.
And I'm seeing you now realizing I can't allow myself to accept someone that doesn't understand and doesn't support and doesn't go along with this energy flow in their own life, because it's just a battle, uphill battle all the way then.
Yes.
And I feel like you've had that time after time where you ended up recognizing that it was a battle, and you don't need the battle, and you don't need that kind of energy, because it's a waste of time and energy to try to move something forward that basically is not moving forward.
Right. Yes.
And I feel by putting out that thought of intent of bringing that balance in, it's going to then work for you and work for you in a positive way.
Okay.
All right. Also, you just recently had a difficulty with wheel or tire on a car.
Okay. I'm not sure.
I see something mechanical concerning a vehicle, and I feel a need to look it over. If you feel something funny in the brakes or the steering, would you please get it looked at?
Okay. Yep.
Have you had anything happen that felt funny?
I ran into the lawnmower.
Okay. You mean we're moving the lawnmower with the vehicle, huh?
I was, yes. It tells me where the end of my garage is.
Okay.
You
Well,
know, crazy stuff like that.
let's put it this way. I want to say be aware of anything, and the next time you have your car on flat parking pavement or something, have a look and make sure a tire doesn't look like it's a little lower than it should be.
Okay, perfect.
All right. But I feel you're going to be fine, and I get things working with business better. And I'm seeing an organization around you, a group around you, that not only would it be good advertisement for them to have you involved, but it would be good advertisement for you to be involved. And I can see people drawn to you more because there's more of a flow of people surrounding you. And that'll be quite nice.
Does that look like me working for the organization or more of a partnership?
I would say a partnership, but you're working for them in a sense that you're an intricate part of the presentation of the group, as well as you're then drawing customers to your life too.
Okay, perfect.
All right?
Thank you.
God bless you, dear. You take care.
All right, so next person. is Flower or Madalena. There she is. Hi.
Flower.
Hi, it's Sarai. I don't know why they have me maybe as my email right now. Hi, Reverend Kehn. I've been anxiously waiting to speak to you. This is something that just happened recently in my life, and I wanted to know if there was foul play involved in what happened to Albert Serrano on January 13th.
Who is this to you?
Albert Serrano, he was my ex-husband. He passed away last night.
Well, I feel an energy with him that he didn't know what happened. And I feel that there was an involvement of something happening to him that someone else did. And you felt that yourself. And I feel an energy there that I sense his energy with you, and he reaches out to you. And would you understand, he's a person that on one hand you loved him, on the other hand you'd like to smack him a good one, because sometimes his attitude was not the nicest.
Yeah, he had a lot of issues. That's why I wasn't married to him anymore.
Well,
You mean somebody, because see, he fell down from a flight of stairs and he had major brain injury, and he had a big black and blue in his eye, and we wondered if somebody punched him, but I called the detectives, I called the police. You know, we didn't get to see who he was with, and they said that they don't think that somebody punched him. They think that it was a fall, but we thought that maybe he got into an argument with someone, and maybe someone pushed him, because none of his family, his family, neither his daughter, who's our daughter, or his parents were there. They just sent him to the hospital in an ambulance without anybody even accompanying. They just sent him like they didn't care, or we're wondering because they found Xanax in his pocket. And I know he had addiction problems, so I was wondering if maybe he took the Xanax and being drunk, and maybe he just got dizzy and fell, and that's why the fall was so hard. But I wonder if someone pushed him or...
the energy I'm feeling there is I feel there were people there, and I'll put it in this context. If you had friends around you and they were protective of you, they would be protective of you. And I feel an energy there. They had people around him. Instead of them being protective of him, they basically didn't pay a whole lot of attention to him, and to a degree didn't care. And I feel he tripped and fell and went down the flight of steps. And I do feel he whacked his head. But I have a feeling there that there was somebody there that was right behind him at the time. And they didn't try to stop him, and they didn't try to grab him. And I feel sad about it, but I feel with him, he's happy that he's on the spirit side now, because he said to me, I couldn't stop doing what I was doing.
He had a drug addiction. I think he'd become addicted to painkillers. Now, I'm not really sure because he was very secretive. But when we were together, he had a drinking problem and a cocaine problem. And after we broke up, I think he became a heroin addict. He never told me, but I think that's what happened. I don't know if he ever stopped.
Well, I'll put it this way, dear. I feel he was on drugs of some kind, and it was pretty severe, and he couldn't stop on his own. And I feel he actually attempted to, and it didn't work. And I feel with him that the people around him didn't want to deal with him and be responsible for him, and therefore they didn't really try to do anything. Because as if you have family or you have someone you care about, you certainly want to protect them from themselves. And I feel that there are people there, but they were not going to be involved in trying to protect him from himself, because I feel he was really messed up. And when he went down the steps, I feel he tripped and went down the steps. And I do feel with him, nobody beat him up, but I do feel they also did not do what they could have done to help him or protect him.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that makes sense. You said the person right behind him. Could this have been that guy, Victor? I've gotten something about a guy named Victor Jaroslow. I mean, we're not going to do anything, but just to have a sense of what happened,
I don't feel who it would be. I just sense the energy there that there were people around him that knew him, understood what was going on, and they did nothing about it.
Right, you said somebody was right behind him and didn't, yeah. Well, what happened? Reverend, something else. Is he having...
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I feel his energy with you, and I see him supportive of you. And his comment to me was, please tell her I'm sorry. He said he recognizes and understands now what he was and how he treated you. And he feels very sad that he did the way he did because you were there for him. And in spite of you being there for him, he still at times was not too nice.
Yeah, he did cause me a lot of pain. We were married for almost 15 years, but I had to divorce him eventually.
Well, he's with you in a very loving and supportive manner, and he understands he's only been in spirit a short period of time, but he said to me, I want her to know that she was my angel and that she took care of me in spite of how stupid he was. Okay?
Thank you. Reverend, I have an important question regarding my daughter. His accident happened on her birthday. Is there a reason for this? What's the significance of this? Because she's been, anyway, what's the significance of that?
How old is your daughter now?
She just turned 25 on January 13, and she was in Florida going partying when she got the call that he had just been brought into an ambulance and was in the hospital.
I feel an energy there that she really did not feel like he was being the father, and she was very angry at him for not being what she thought he should be. Would that be true?
She never says she's angry at him, but I know she's not happy with the way she has made comments sometimes. Well, he hasn't been around since I'm like 9, 10, since he left.
Right.
She doesn't usually express anger about him. She seems actually very attached to him.
Wait a minute. Let me explain this. I did not say at this time. I said in the past, there was a circumstance there where it frustrated her to feel like he wasn't being the father in a loving, caring manner at times. And she loved him. But he at times would be like a little boy in a man's body.
Yes, all the time.
And that's what I felt frustrated her, was she saw other men that were friends' fathers possibly that would have been real fathers. And I felt it bothered her, and she tried to reach out to him in every way. And I feel that he never really truly became the father emotionally. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Is that why did it happen on her birthday? Because she seems to be following in his footsteps a lot, and that worries me. And I'm wondering if that's why it happened on her day, like a wake-up call. It happened on her birthday.
It's a wake-up call to her, for her to look at her life and say, am I going to follow the same pathway or am I not? Because she does like to party.
Yes, just like he did.
And I see her with an attitude that the laws and rules of the world don't apply to me. I can do what I want to do. And it's sad because I do feel she can get herself in trouble the way she's going at times.
Yes. I've often told her, Rocio, I don't want to have to bury my own daughter one day.
Well,
I've said that to her before.
You surround her in light, and you put the healing energy around her. And believe me, your ex-husband is certainly wanting to watch over her and wanting to protect her. And he doesn't want her to do the stupid things he's done. And I really feel he's there. And if you got a guardian angel there, he's around and he's helping. Okay?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. I'm glad you said that. I was going to ask you if he was going to be able to help her now from the other side.
Well, he's learning a lot in his own experience, but he definitely would be protective and watchful over her. Okay?
Okay, Reverend, I had premonitions about this, didn't I? I saw him 5 days before this happened, and I said to him, if you ever go to the other side, and I don't know why I said it. I said, if you ever go to the other side, you make sure you let me know. Please don't go without letting me know. And I was the first one that was at the hospital.
Yes. I feel he's with you and he's supportive of you, and he will watch over your daughter. And your daughter can be an angry young lady at times.
Extremely.
Because I see her having outbursts of being very angry at times.
I wonder if she does drugs, and if that's why she's like that. I know she drinks heavily.
Well, I think the drinking alone could do that, but I'm not saying she hasn't taken drugs, but I do feel her attitude at times is certainly not the most positive. And let's do that with prayer and work on it with prayer and healing. And we'll send energy for your ex-husband, and we'll send energy for you and your daughter. Okay?
Albert. Thank you, Reverend.
You're welcome, dear. God bless you.
God bless you too.
All right, the next person we have is on the phone. It's phone number 330-524-6732.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Nance. Hi.
Hi.
I had a
What's your name?
question about Nancy,
Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Where are you calling from?
Florida.
330
My
area
question,
code?
well, down here on vacation.
Okay. Well, I used to live in Girard, Ohio, and I was born in Warren, Ohio. That's why I know the code.
Oh, yeah.
What's your question, dear?
Well, I do readings for my friends sometimes.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is some of them just, really take it to heart, and especially in relationship readings, and they look for that person I've described.
Mm-hmm.
And, they fixate on something and they don't let it go. How do you not, is there a way to talk to them about free will and,
Well,
they just kind of obsess?
what I do very simply is there's a lot of times you may pick up something that's very descriptive of a person or their personality or what they look like, or even a seasonal base of saying, okay, in the spring, in the fall, in the summer. And I feel with you, you have some people there that I'll put it simply. There's some people that really need a message and a guidance. And there's some people just looking for everything they can possibly get a hold of. And you have a few of both. You have a few people that are sincere and really, really, truly listening to what you're saying. And then you have a few people that are just out to have fun and they get into this pursuit. And it's like, well, he's got to have brown hair and blue eyes. And I feel the energy of you can only guide them to a certain point, and then you have to step back. Because I've had people say to me, well, that didn't happen. Well, it's a free will. Are you going to open the door and allow things to happen in the right way? In other words, God and guidance around us, helping us, directing us. Or are we going to do the analytical and become very forceful in a way of saying, this is what I want, I'm going to make it work? And you have a few people who want to make it work, and you really can't change their minds there. Just plant the seed of wisdom, guidance, and love, let go of it, and also include in the factor that they have their free will. And I would even verbalize to them that they have their free will. They have an attitude of forcefulness. They're going to create the disharmony that they don't want. And it's not you doing it in a message, it's what they're doing to themselves.
Okay.
And I feel you have a wonderful ability, and there are times you feel like you're just really tapped in, and what you're picking up is so clear and easy to do. And there's other times where I see people demanding of you, where they just want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And then it takes you out of your comfort zone, and it takes you to a point that, yeah, you can probably pick up things, but it's not going to come to you in the natural flow that at times you would normally allow to happen. That makes sense?
Okay. Yes, it does.
And I want to say, stay within the natural flow. And I've said to people at times when I'm at a party or a dinner or doing something, they'll just, well, I want to know this and I want to know that and I want to know something else. And I just shut them down and just say, listen, I'm sorry, I'm not in that space right now. I'm not in that focus right now. And when I'm in a meditative state and I'm planning to read for someone, I'm in that focus. And to end this random thing where they just want to know, they want to know, they want to know. Because all it does is really put you to the test, and you're trying to focus more to really have the accuracy, and they're pushing and pushing. And let's say it this way, it's abusive to you, it's abusive to themselves, and they don't want to back down. And I would just step back and say, I'm sorry, I'm not really focused on that right now.
Okay.
And that way you're eliminating all of the game playing that people get into. And if they want a sincerity of something, they can take time to be sincere, and they can take time to be focused in a meditative manner and really ask for a reading or a message. And not just the circumstance of, I want to go talk to somebody down the street and see what they come up with. I want to have that sincerity. And I feel you have in your heart that sincerity, and you have that ability to tap in that manner. But you're showing respect for your abilities in God's presence, and you're also showing respect to spirit, that it's like, we're not allowing this to be a game. This has got to be something sincere and serious.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
No.
Okay. You take care, dear. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Who else has a question? Please wave. Who else has a question? Please wave.
Suri.
Siri?
Hi, I'm sorry.
Hi.
Me again, Reverend. Reverend, I'm leaving for Peru on Monday, and I'm hoping that his funeral will be before Monday so that I can be there. You think that's going to happen? And my dad's going to be 90 soon, and you see him being around much longer? I mean, I'm glad I'm going to go see my daddy. He's going to be 90 this year.
I'll put it this way. Your ex-husband's with you whether you show up at a funeral or not. And I see him reaching out to you and your daughter. And he said he brought a lot of pain to your life at times. And he realizes how much pain he brought to his own. And I feel the ability to visit where it may not be the funeral at the end, but I feel some sort of visiting ahead of that. And I could see you being able to go and see your father. And I feel your father is a very strong man for his age. He's very stubborn. True?
I guess he's gotten kind of cranky lately. He was not, I wonder if he's getting dementia. He was never cranky before. He was always very sweet with me. But I get along better with him than with my mom. My mom's always angry at me. But yeah, he's getting up there in age. I wonder how much longer he'll be around. I worry about him getting weak and losing his memory.
I feel your father is a very stubborn, very determined man. That I feel an energy there that he tunes your mom out. And,
well, they're divorced.
well, they're showing me him tuning her out, and he just tunes her out. And I feel he loves you, and I do see him being cranky, but remember, he doesn't feel good. I feel that his body's bothering him, his health has bothered him, and not to the point where he's going to leave right away or anything, but I mean, it's not comfortable. And that's what I see him reacting to. And he's very tired of feeling that he couldn't make things better when he really wanted to. I want to say it this way. You love him, enjoy him, and share with him. And I feel it's a good energy because I see him recognizing in you your heart and your love and your support for him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. He does seem to.
You have a safe journey.
Okay, so hopefully he won't be leaving anytime soon yet. Yeah.
No, I don't see him leaving soon. Don't worry.
Thank you, Reverend.
You're welcome. God bless. Safe journey.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any question? All righty.
Full reading.
Who would like a reading now? We'll do short readings. Raise your hand if you'd like a short reading.
Richard's first.
Hi, Richard.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good. So I don't have any specific question. I'll just, whatever spirit wants to tell me. How's that?
Well, how about this? How about you read for me since you've been practicing?
How much time do you have?
One of the first things around you, I want to say, I love your sincerity and your energy of giving because you really do enjoy it. And I'm seeing you reaching out to people more as time goes on. And I certainly see it as a positive. And I felt like you're really opening up more. And do not be surprised if you have something happen that'll shock you a little bit, that you're going to think it and not pay any attention to it at all. It's like you'll have the thought, it'll just go through your mind, and you may have a thought of, well, why did I think that? And then it'll disappear. And a little later, the event occurs, and I've seen you going, oh my God, I had that in my thoughts. It was there. All right? That's going to happen more for you. And it's something that I want to say. Remember when I said to you before about being in tune, like a little blueprint? You blueprint what you're feeling. When you have the next event occur that's really dead on, I want to blueprint that in my mind. I want to be able to carry that vibration, what I felt. Because as you do that, now when you want to go back to that vibration, because it's really the focus you need, you'll tap back into it, and it'll work out very, very well. And you have the ability.
Okay.
And I feel the need to allow it. And also, would you recognize you've already started recognizing friends around you that I would term some of them that you couldn't dare open up to and tell them about this. But on some levels, there's some people you could share with and you could enjoy talking with them about it.
Yes.
I see you having more and more friendships that are going to be more and more open and sharing. And it's a very positive energy. Remember, when we really open up spiritually, we start letting go of vibrations around us that are not harmonious or not on a pathway of being open. And we start really finding ourselves gravitating to people that are so much more open and so much more in tune to things. And I feel like you've already started to have that happen.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Who's next?
Eleanor.
Eleanor? Hi, Eleanor.
Hi.
Hi, you have a question?
My question. So I've been going through an illness for the past couple of months, and I feel like I don't really like to term it as an illness, but I feel like I'm going through some major shifts and changes and detoxing, and I was just wondering if there's any information on what's going on about that.
Well, there's two things I felt immediately. Would you understand stomach and intestinal for a little while there acted up?
Yes.
Because I keep getting that lower body, and I felt it really strongly when you said that. And I feel like it's been difficult because sometimes you feel like I'm completely going one way with it, then I go completely the other way with it. That makes sense?
Well, it comes and goes, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
would you recognize also you've been noticing a body fatigue, that sometimes your body feels sluggish and tired?
Yes.
Because I feel like it's really a sluggish, tired feeling, and I feel that sometimes hits you, and it really has an effect on you. And I'm seeing you moving out of that and moving into a better level where you're going to physically feel better, but emotionally feel better also. People don't realize how much you pick up emotionally, and you carry a great deal of energy within you at times.
I do that?
Yes.
Okay.
And would you recognize there's times when you're in the public, you're in a group of people, sometimes you're feeling more than you feel you should be? It's like you could be the sponge and you're wide open and you're picking up on everybody's energies?
Yeah, yes, and I actually haven't been, I've been in retreat for the last couple of months. I haven't been able to spend time with anybody, even going to stores.
Right. And that's why I feel with you, you've been so wide open that you're like the sponge and you're absorbing all these energies, which also is not the healthiest for you. And it
No.
drains you. And that's why I see you regrouping now and getting to the point where I'm not going to let myself be drained and fatigued anymore. I have to step back from it a bit. And that's why you retreated. And now I see you creating a filter, or you could say a barrier or a filter. I'd prefer filter, because what you're doing is filtering out all these negative energies that people have in their lives. And yeah, when you feel something about them or for them, bless them, surround them with light and send them healing. But you're not allowing it to be something that dwells within you. Because sometimes you let it dwell within you and you carry it. You don't need to be carrying it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I let love come in, but none of the other stuff.
You know, God bless them somewhere else, preferably further away when you feel the negativity, because some people, and I feel this has happened to you already and you recognized it, some people pull from you.
Yes.
And I feel you've had certain individuals, even friendships, that would pull on your energy so hard that you felt like you had to move away from them.
Yes, definitely. There's actually people I'm not in touch with now.
Yes. And that's a good thing because you're aware of it, because they're leeching energy from you all the time. And you're separating yourself from the people that can be in that negative space. You're separating yourself where you're not allowing them to take. And I feel now your ability to be near someone like that, you recognize it, therefore you put your shield up. You don't allow anything but good to come to you, and you don't allow anything but good to leave you. And therefore you're neutralizing their energy, and they can't pull on you anymore.
Yes, that's pretty annoying for them.
Yes. I've watched people really be annoyed with me because I recognized what they were doing, and I surround them in light and bless them, but I'm completely eliminating their ability to pull from me. And as you do that and you surround yourself in that light, I've had people react by looking at me, staring at me, and get very disturbed at times because they couldn't just go ahead and plug in.
Okay. Yeah. So I am much more aware now. Is that linked to this fatigue, though, that I'm having?
I feel the fatigue in your body. You've had an infection in your body. I'm not a doctor and I can't prescribe. You've had an infection in your body that has taken a toll on your energy over
Okay.
quite a while. And I feel like you're beginning to come out of it and get your energy back. But I would even check on the physical level with a doctor and see if there's anything there they come up with in your blood.
Okay.
All
It's
right?
a virus. I do have a virus, yeah.
Because they're showing me something like a virus or infection. There's something going on that definitely is taking energy out of your body. And it's not just someone else, pulling from you, but I mean, literally in your own body.
Okay.
Yeah. Any
Well,
other?
it's on its way out, so that's good.
That's good, dear. Hey, God bless you, dear. You take care.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, so we have Jessica and Nancy still. I don't know, you want to do Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
All righty. You have a
How are
question?
you? Anything that comes in.
Well, two things that came to me. One was, I feel like recently you had someone from your past attempt to reach into your life again.
Yeah, I initiated it, but yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, would you understand you initiated it, but you now feel like you want to initiate it the other way?
Yeah, it was the biggest blessing I've ever had. I thank Spirit for that because it let me let go of 2 years of not being able to let go.
Yes. Because I felt a healing energy involved there and your ability to let go, but it really was an enlightening time to recognize in yourself how really locked in you were in your belief and feeling.
Yes, I was.
And
And it did
now,
not serve me at
and
all.
now your ability to let go of that is wonderful. And I'm seeing now actually being free from the past where there was a period of time you weren't free.
Yeah.
And that's a great energy. It's a real lesson and experience, and it's a real good one because I feel very at peace with you now moving forward and not having the restrictions or restraints from the past.
Yes, it's definitely a nice feeling.
And where are you living now? What area?
Toronto, Ontario?
Would you recognize the thought? I don't feel immediately, but would you recognize the thought of possibly changing your residency?
My kids have to be a bit older or something has to happen.
Well, let me describe it this way. I feel something's coming up where I feel financially, I feel you're going to be able to move up and do better in a financial manner, as well as it being more stable.
Okay.
And
Yay.
I feel an energy there. I don't know who this is to you, but I feel a male in the past that owes you money yet, and he hasn't fulfilled what his commitment was.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
And I don't know how you do this, but I feel something's coming up where you're going to be able to force some issues and get some things legally done that's going to benefit you and it's going to help you considerably.
Okay. Oh,
And,
that's really nice.
I'm sorry?
That's really nice.
And how old are your children now?
8, 11, and 13.
13-year-old's first name?
Daxton,
Doxton?
Dexter.
Daxton.
Very strong, quite stubborn. You've been having a little difficulty with them over laziness.
Maybe his brother.
I pick up a male and I pick up a laziness, and I feel there's times you've had to really back it off a bit and just really force the issue with the fact that that's his things to do and he has to do them.
Yeah.
And I feel good that you're able to do that because I feel you've been a bit annoyed at times that it's like, he wants to take the energy, but he doesn't really give back that easily.
Yes.
That'd be the middle one?
Yeah, probably the younger two.
Yes. Well, I see the one having the attitude of that the laws and rules of the world don't apply to me. I can get away with it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I know you're strong and I know you're going to put your foot down, but I'm seeing you getting things in an order that's really going to be in order and it's going to work. So keep at it. It's going to be fine.
Okay, awesome.
And your one child made a comment to you a short time ago that somebody was in their room and that they'd seen or felt someone there.
Okay.
Because I see spirit coming in and you have a lady in spirit. Now, I don't know if I'm talking your grandmother or the great-grandmother, but there's an older woman and I see her around your children and she said, Mom will straighten them out.
Yes, I will.
And you just recently had a circumstance occur where your one son basically lied to you about some things and you cornered him on the idea that you pinned him down on the fact that mom knows.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because grandma said to me, she said,
He's getting way too old, way too fast.
yeah. Well, your grandmother said to me, she said, tell her to listen carefully. I'll let her know.
Okay, perfect.
That's a good energy, dear. You're doing fine. Any question?
I guess the only other question I would have is my own spiritual path. It's going, we're good.
I feel good with spiritual path. I just feel with you, it's been frustrating to feel at times like your emotional level had been up and down so much.
Yeah.
And I feel the emotional level has been like the teeter-totter. It's like you've been tipping back and forth. One moment I feel very strong and solid and it works well. And the next moment it's like, oh my God, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I see you getting more anchored and more calm. We all have the tipping back and forth some, but I feel you being more anchored and more calm and really moving into this year. It's a very positive energy, and I'm seeing you taking charge of things that before you to really put in question. And I see you now really putting them in a point where you're going to take them on, and it's going to work well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, dear. God bless you.
All right, Nancy.
Nancy,
Yeah.
do you have another question?
We could go with whatever comes in. That seems to be the thing tonight.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way. I feel you have a lady on the spirit side of life that loves you very much, watches over you. I feel she passed when you were younger. And I felt the energy from her was a very determined, very loving, very strong person. And she said to me, she said, don't let people take from you. I feel like you've had some people around you that can really pull pretty hard. And I feel you're learning to step back enough now and not let them disrespect you and your energy. And I feel not disrespect spirit. And that's working for you much better when you're focusing in that. And you've been noticing recently that on a physical earth plane level in your home, you've been thinking about going through things and clearing things out.
Yes.
Because I kept seeing a symbol of clearing out, reorganizing, and I see it working very well for you.
Okay.
You're going to feel so much better because I see a mental, emotional, and the physical world clutter gone.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Well, nice meeting you, and you take care of yourself and have a wonderful time.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
God bless. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Alrighty, we've been on for an hour. On the 20th of February at 7 p.m., we're going to do this again. And that will be the 20th of February. And we'll do it at 7 o'clock in the evening. So you're welcome back if you'd like to come back. I hope you enjoyed. I hope something was shared that you all enjoyed and learned from. And I've learned a few things tonight too. I appreciate everyone. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Let's have a wonderful new year.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.